are going to talk about home ownership. So talk to our audience a little bit. It's the American dream, right? Everyone wants to own something, and owning a home tends to be one of the first things people want to own. So speak a little bit from your perspective why home ownership is so important.
I think homeownership is important because it's an opportunity beyond what an American dream is. An American dream is something that is specific to that individual, right? And so I think that one of the things that it brings for all individuals in terms of playing the equity playing field, right, is the opportunity for equity, right, and for building out additional wealth factors for an individual and or their family.
There you go. Let's talk about those steps to home ownership. Let's kind of break those down because it's big. It's like a lot to unpack today. But let's start with step one. If someone is looking to own something, they want to own a home, what's the first thing they should be considering to start this process?
Contrary to popular belief, I think it's important to get clear on your why, and why do you want to own now? Because I don't think that it's not something that people can't obtain. I just think that there are certain time frames for every individual, right? So I think it's important to get clear on your why. And then second, I think it would be best to partner with a real estate professional or someone in that industry so that they can help guide you. A lot of times we think it's automatically go to the pre-approval, right? First, get your pre-approval. Well, no. You need to know what you want, why you want to buy, these sorts of things. So I think first, get clear on your why, and then second, I will partner with a professional in the industry.
What should a person be looking for in that individual who's going to guide them through a process that they don't quite know a lot about?
So I think that is going back to step one, right? When you get clear on your why, you sit and you kind of research things. You write out why you want to do things. You write out who you would want to work with, or what type of personalities might fit with what you're looking for, what things are important to you from a business standpoint. And so I think then as you hash those pieces out, then you'll begin to start seeking out individuals that naturally gravitate towards what you're looking for in a business partner. And I would ask the individual agents or real estate professionals that an individual is partnering with what their niche area is, right? What do you do best, right? Do you focus on multifamily properties? Do you focus on new construction? What is their area of expertise? And that will help you align this a little bit better. So after you've partnered with that real estate professional, that professional is going to be able to guide you a little bit in terms of your finances, right? So we have to get clear on our cash, and our credit is kind of what I tell my clients, right? So your cash is really your reserves or your capacity to purchase a house, your down payment, what that looks like, and then your credit as well in terms of meeting those specific minimum requirements.
And there's a lot of steps to this journey, which is where a professional comes in great. But let's wrap up with maybe one or two other quick points that folks need to keep top of mind if they're building out their own list to ensure they're thinking through everything to get them from starting to actually getting the keys to that new home.
Absolutely. So at that point that you have partnered with your real estate professional, they'll really be a good guide towards the rest of the transaction of what you're looking to do. But then you go towards that pre-approval. You get your pre-approval. That should be a moment of celebration because it's quite a journey, right? And so upon that pre-approval, now you're ready to shop. And so what I would say as people start to shop is keep an open mind. You may come in with one thing in mind, but you may explore some additional options that may be just as conducive to that initial why.
Join the True Talk Nation for more resources, more videos, more behind the scenes footage, and your chance to win prizes. Check us out at TrueTalkInc.com. And also make sure you like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at True Talk Real Estate.
Jason, let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner!
Go.
Excellent.
Sorry for the slug.
Yeah, I saw you guys out there. I thought you were on my team.
You told me not to talk to strangers. You told me not to cross the street without looking both ways.
You told me not to touch the stove.
You told me not to do drugs.
You told me not to drink and drive.
You gave me so many messages about how to stay safe.
Why didn't you keep me safe by properly storing your gun?
Whether you're a first-time homebuyer evaluating a condo versus townhouse, an empty nester looking to downsize into a smaller house or condo, or if you're trying to determine if renting an apartment or buying a home is best for you, consider this your primer on what type of house might suit your lifestyle. So let's start with the difference between a condo versus apartment. Part 1. Condominium versus apartment. Condos. A condominium, or condo for short, is a saleable unit within a larger structure, which could be a high-rise building. Pros of condos. Condos can be great for anyone who wants to keep home maintenance to a minimum, including first-time homebuyers, singles, older homeowners, or people who travel frequently. With a condo association to take care of maintenance and even security, you will not have to worry about things like mowing the grass or arranging trash pickup services. Cons of condos. Condo association rules can be highly restrictive, meaning you may not be able to customize your unit the way you want. Those who value exclusivity and privacy might find the community areas less than ideal. Part 2. Condo versus apartment. Apartments. Apartment is the general term that can be used to describe any residence inside of a residential building, where the individual units are rented. Pros of apartments. Apartments give residents a place to live without most of the responsibilities that come with homeownership, such as property taxes, maintenance fees, and building upkeep. These buildings may come with community amenities like a gym, pool, or dog park. Cons of apartments. When renting an apartment, the resident is limited on what changes they are allowed to make. Think paint color or fixtures. And the landlord can dictate things like whether to allow pets. Also, renters do not build equity, nor do they get the tax perks that come with homeownership. Bottom line, know your options so you can choose confidently. To ensure you are making the right choice, consider your budget, how much space you'll need, how long you'll stay in a home, and how much savings you have to put towards things like repairs and maintenance.
Maybe what is one thing that you hear often, a misconception that people have about buying?
Well, back to the thing that I can't, okay? And then I have no idea about the entire process. How do I start? Where do I start? What do I do? What do I need to do? And that's when it falls in our laps that we need to find out where they're at, and have that conversation with them. In essence, we become social workers. We're listening, we're trying to, to understand their real need and try to help them at the level of their understanding get through this process. So whether it's from the very, very, very beginning, from the finance, that's still our job. Okay, whether it be just a real estate, okay, I've been pre-approved, I've been through these classes, but now I'm ready to find that home. Then we talk to them about getting that home. But it's not just finding a house. It's not just putting them on and picking out the building for them. We have to educate them on, the process of making a good decision. Okay, because that's part of their fear. Am I going to make the right decision? What happens if I get this house and, things fall apart? And we talk to them about inspections. We talk to them about, surrounding them with professionals that's going to get them through those fears that they have. And then they start calming down because they're not having to have to figure it all out. And even the ones that had the classes, they're like, I remember a little bit of that. I said, well, you know what? It's not your role. I said, your role is you got a basic understanding of what you're going to be exposed to. It falls on us that we're supposed to explain these things as we go through it to take away those fears.
you seeing right now in our market as it relates to folks who are looking to purchase a home for the first time? What are they encountering right now?
So a lot of the individuals that I come across that are interested in purchasing a home for the first time, they don't have the information that they need. Number one is they don't understand their credit. They don't understand their credit scores. And so a lot of times they feel that because they're ready to purchase a home that they can just jump out and say, hey, I need a realtor, I'm ready to go purchase a home. So they don't understand their financial situation, they don't understand their credit situation, and so therefore they encounter sometimes roadblocks with their credit where their credit scores are not high enough to where they qualify to be pre-approved for a loan. So those are some of the things that I'm encountering.
So when we're talking about being in a competitive space, what are they looking at when they are in the market? If they're looking to buy a home, what are they facing right now when they're looking to start that home shopping? What are they experiencing?
So the number one thing that, in my opinion, that home buyers, whether you're a first-time home buyer or second-time home buyer, is low inventory. There's not a lot of homes on the market for sale, which is considered to be a seller's market. So inventory is low, the number of buyers is high. So you have a large pool of people that are looking to buy homes, but not a lot of homes on the market for sale. So a lot of times buyers will find themselves in what is called a bidding war, right? And they have to present their best offer the first time out. And a lot of times their bid is not selected because you have a large pool of buyers that are bidding on this one property that popped up on the market. And so they're finding that competition with other buyers and having to find a way to present their best offer in hopes of getting their offer accepted.
Now, I think sometimes what comes with that is folks think, well, I have to pay more for the house. If I have to submit my best offer in a competitive seller's market, I'm paying more. Is that always the case, or is that what you're seeing though?
It's not always the case, but what I like to advise my buyers is if you have a maximum pre-approval letter, look at homes that are maybe $10,000 to $15,000 lower than that price point. That way you have some room to bid up. So you're not necessarily paying more for the home per se, but you don't want to get into a situation where you're looking at a home that you absolutely love, but then you keep getting outbid because it's at your maximum pre-approval amount. And so then look for those homes that are a little bit lower so you have some room to bid up.
There you go. Let's talk a little bit about homebuyer education.
Yes.
I know this is a space that you really are passionate about.
Yes.
Making sure that folks and your buyers, your clients you're working with are educated, and that ultimately, if I can say this, by the end of the transaction with you, they have more knowledge then than when they started.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the things that you like to sit down and talk to your buyers about to ensure they're prepared for this home buying experience?
Absolutely. So the first thing that I like to advise my buyers is, number one, understand your why. Why is now the time to purchase a home for you? And when we understand their why, we can get down that path of home ownership. The next thing I like for my buyers to understand is, number one, where they sit from a financial perspective and where they are credit-wise. Because if the two are not properly in place, then chances are they will not get that pre-approval for the loan. So if your credit scores are not high enough, the lender is not going to pre-approve you, right? Now there are down payment assistance programs out there, so we like to educate our buyers on that option as well if they need some assistance with down payment programs. But the credit score is very vital, because if that credit score is not there, the lender is not going to approve you.
I guess before we wrap this up, because we could talk about this for a while, right? We could.
Yes, we could.
But what are some tips, maybe one or two tips, that if someone's in this space not really sure where to start, what are some things that you would say they want to buy a home? What would you recommend that they do first if they're not really sure what to do, where to start?
Okay, so a lot of times what I see is the buyer will contact the realtor first, which is fine. However, you really kind of need to work with a lender first, a lender or a repair, if you know that there's items on your credit that need to be cleared off or paid off or things of that nature. Either the lender or in hand with a credit repair consultant that can help you understand which items need to be cleared off, because it's important to understand that everything that's on your credit may not necessarily need to be cleared off, right? You may be opening another can of worms by paying off certain items because the aging process starts all over again. And that's a piece that a lot of times consumers don't understand. So it's very important to work with the lender and or a credit repair consultant to understand which items need to be taken care of that are on your credit. Get that credit score up as high as you can, because that is going to give you the better interest rates when you get pre-approved for the loan. And I always tell my buyers to save. Make sure you have as much money as possible in your reserves, so that when it comes time for the purchase, when you need to pay for that inspection, when you need to have the cash for that appraisal, you have it available. Another tip that I like to also advise my buyers is to stay in touch with your realtor. Keep them abreast of where you are in the process, so that they in turn can be in touch with your lender and or your credit repair consultant, so that everyone is on the same page, so that when you are ready to purchase, your realtor is ready to go.
There you have it. She has given you some really, really good tips on how to start this process so that you can ultimately achieve the goal that you are after, which is home ownership. Kanisha, if folks want to connect with you outside of this platform, how can they connect with you on social media? What's your platform of choice?
Okay, so my platform of choice is Facebook.
Okay.
So I have a business page out there. It's Kanisha Cunningham Realtor. And then also they can reach me at 614-323-4147 and talk to me directly. Text, voicemail, they can reach me there. And then my website is listwithnish.com.
Let's talk a little bit about homebuyer education. You know, I know this is a space that you really are passionate about. Making sure that folks and your buyers, your clients you're working with are educated, and that ultimately, if I can say this, by the end of the transaction with you, they have more knowledge then than when they started. So what are some of the things that you like to sit down and talk to your buyers about to ensure they're prepared for this home buying experience?
Absolutely. So the first thing that I like to advise my buyers is, number one, understand your why. Why is now the time to purchase a home for you? And when we understand their why, we can get down that path of home ownership. The next thing I like for my buyers to understand is, number one, where they sit from a financial perspective and where they are credit-wise. Because if the two are not properly in place, then chances are they will not get that pre-approval for the loan. So if your credit scores are not high enough, the lender is not going to pre-approve you, right? Now, there are down payment assistance programs out there, so we like to educate our buyers on that option as well if they need some assistance with down payment programs. But the credit score is very vital, because if that credit score is not there, the lender is not going to approve you.
So let's chat. We're going to talk today about what do you need to keep top of mind if you're looking to purchase a home this year. You ready? Let's do it. First thing I think you should be thinking about is, do you have the money set aside that you're going to need to cover those expenses that you incur when you're purchasing a home? For example, you're going to have down payment money that's needed, closing cost, inspection cost, appraisal cost. But then sometimes we forget about, if you're in a current lease and you decide to terminate your lease early, is there a payment penalty for breaking that lease early? All of those things are out-of-pocket expenses to you that you need to make sure you've got some money set aside. And oh, don't forget whatever other moving expenses you may have if you're looking to buy new furniture once you're moved in, or have to pay the movers to get you there too. The next thing you should be thinking about is your financial position, starting with, do you know your credit score? If you've never pulled your report or know your score, you could start with a site like creditkarma.com. Pretty easy to use, pretty user-friendly. Pull your report down, take a look at it, and know your score. Let's be real, the lender is going to do it, so you might as well do it too. Isn't it better to be in a position of knowing when you walk into that bank that you're going to be able to get the loan? It's just a matter of what loan product and what rate you get. Also, make sure your bills and credit cards are paid on time. You certainly don't want any delinquencies, any past due balances. It doesn't look very positive to a lender. And then make sure you don't have any gaps in your employment history. Your lender's going to want about 2 years from you. So make sure you got a good solid 2 years if you can. Now, if you've changed jobs, that's okay. Just make sure you have those documentation in place to show them that you went from one great place to the next great place. Third thing is get pre-approved. You do not want to start your home search without knowing how much home you can actually purchase. It's honestly a waste of your time and your agent's time if you hire one as well. So get pre-approved, know how much the lender is willing to lend to you. But know what your budget is. How much do you want your mortgage payment to be? Because that's what's going to drive how much house you ultimately purchase. So keep that in mind. If you're not sure where to start with the lender, think about where you already have an existing relationship. If you're already banking at a bank or a credit union, those are 2 great places to start, but you can always leverage your family or friends for referrals too. Now the fun part. The 4th thing you might want to consider is doing some research, and that's fun because you got to know where you want to live and what are you looking for in your house. So if you're not familiar with the area that you're in currently, I suggest maybe going to like your local city government website, the Chamber of Commerce website, any of your visitor bureau pages. They sometimes will have different descriptions on there of the various communities within the city where you're looking to live. A great place to start. Obviously, leverage social media. Ask your social friends if they've got some ideas of where they love living. They can be helpful too. But honestly, a great way is to drive through some neighborhoods. Jump in your car, drive around, and see what interests you. But some things you may want to consider are the school systems, location to where you work or where your family and friends are, property taxes that you would have to pay, or the overall price of the homes or the average price of the homes. Maybe you want to consider diversity or being close to shopping and restaurants. All some things that you may want to consider, but it comes down to what's important to you and or your family. Also think about, what do you want in your new home? Do you have to have 3 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, 2-car garage, basement, fenced yard? You want to know those things. It matters. Your first showing is online. And so you want to make sure you know what your must-haves are, your non-negotiables, so you can vet out all of those listings and only go see the ones that actually would work for you and or your family.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Sutton, Principal Broker of Affordable Real Estate. My great team of agents and I can serve your real estate needs, just like when I represented my first client 37 years ago until today. Whether you're looking to sell, buy, move up, downsize, or build a brand new home, we can help. Looking for an investment property, church, start, relocate, or lease space for your business? Call us. Are you an executor or administrator of an estate? We have certified probate real estate specialists that can assist.
If you are thinking of a career in real estate, contact me, Pauline Buck, Director of Recruiting. Remember, Affordable Real Estate is your connection to Central Ohio real estate. Call us at 614-884-3300.
You're watching TST with Ariana Carter. Today we're here at Linden Cafe to ask some questions relating to real estate. Let's go check it out.
Okay, the first question is, if you had a chance to purchase a new home or old home, which one would you choose?
Definitely an old one.
Why?
The character, the quality of the materials. They're just well-built, solid houses. I like the build.
What home would you prefer, a new build or an older home?
New build. You don't promise it's an
I would buy an existing home. I would not buy new.
Why?
Because I've heard the reputation of the construction quality of the new builds.
So, do you have a home remodel project? Or quite frankly, is your home in need of a makeover? Well, here is your chance to win prizes to take care of just that. Do this. Send us a short video with your home makeover project for your chance to win prizes and to be featured on our show. For all the information and the contest rules, visit our website at truetalkinc.com. Join the True Talk Nation for more resources, more videos, more behind the scenes footage, and your chance to win prizes. Check us out at truetalkinc.com. And also make sure you like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at True Talk Real Estate.